You realistically are spending $15 to get someone to spend 100, and then they're going to renew. It's like a no-brainer. If this was my company and I was acquiring customers for $15, I'd be spending $10,000 a day if I could. It's a huge impact. Hey everybody, welcome back to a No Excuses with Chris G. This is the show where I go live with subscription entrepreneurs. They ask me questions about their business, and I help guide them and give them advice to help them grow and build an amazing business for their future. And today, I've got Ansley Barretto, who is the founder of Travelista Box. Ansley, thanks so much for being on.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. So I know that you recently launched a box in January, and
Yes.
you're out of Canada, right?
Yep.
Before we get started, why don't you tell everybody a little bit more about the Travelista Box?
Yeah, of course. So it's a quarterly seasonal subscription that's travel themed. And we do 5 to 8 lifestyle items, and we send a new destination to your door every season. So we basically launched, I was a travel advisor or travel agent, and I owned my own agency. And as we know, the pandemic happened and things weren't great in that aspect. And I didn't see any other boxes doing kind of quite what I liked in a travel subscription. So I decided to create my own.
And so is the idea behind this to sort of bring the other country or destination home?
Yes, exactly.
Certain elements of that. Yeah. And so give me examples of what might come in one of those boxes.
Yeah, so I do an array of items. It's 5 to 8 products. So it'll be anywhere between home decor, jewelry, beauty products, stationery books. So there'll be, for example, the Great Canadian Bucket List books. So you can look at different experiences and destinations with Canada. If it's the Canada box, let's say, there'll be little travel jewelry that's travel themed. There will be beauty products that are specific to the destination that you're going to be getting, and kind of encompassing what you would feel like if you were in the destination as well. Yeah. And I also curate myself a guide. So it'll have travel tips, sample itineraries, recipes, just kind of a little bit of array of everything from the destination that we're going to be bringing to you that month.
Oh, I know that when people travel, they like to always buy things from that destination and bring them home and sort of a memory. So how's the launch been? You launched in January, so very new.
Yeah.
You're quarterly, right?
Yep.
So you shipped just one box so far, or are you on your second one?
We shipped one box, and our next box ships the beginning of June.
Amazing. So tell me how it went, the launch.
It went really good. I have to be honest. I wasn't expecting the outcome that I had.
Good.
I know in Canada, a lot of people are missing travel because we can travel even less than you guys can. We have so many restrictions here. So I think that keeping kind of the inner traveler alive was something that was really, really important to me, and people caught on to that. So yeah, I don't have any complaints. It went really good.
Good. All right. So what questions do you have for me, or how can I be as most helpful to you?
I think one of my main questions is adding value. So I currently have a Facebook community for the group, and I find that everyone's really good in there. It's positive, but I kind of want to take it a next step further and add something in terms of online or some sort of portal where people can access travel information and travel videos and virtual tours and such. So in your experience, what's a really good way that companies can kind of add the community aspect to take it to another level?
Well, one, I think you hit it on the nail. You're building a Facebook community, so that's really important, right? And so you want to think about what are the things that people like when they travel. What do they want to know about? So you mentioned virtual tours. I think consumer feedback that have made those travel destinations that have been to one. So maybe a sort of way of like encompassing some like TripAdvisor information into that within that community, where they're getting like not just a like written review, but maybe like someone does a video review and they talk about their experience at the destination. You start to post those. You get individuals to start to like create those videos for you. And you do that, and that makes it valuable. Right now, they want to be in the community. They don't want to just read about their experience at Tulum. They want to like hear someone talk about their experience at Tulum. Right?
Okay.
That might be one way to do it. Another thing you can consider is you might want to start working with like some of these bigger hotels or airlines to start giving perks to your members.
Yeah.
That's going to bring value, right? So travel perks, travel discounts. But like what's even more important is like, I'm sure that there's a large percentage of people that are a little hesitant to travel because they don't know if there's like restrictions and rules, right?
Yeah.
Like, are there some countries where you have to have a vaccine form? Are there some that you don't? Are what's flying like now? And people, as a travel agent, you gave them that comfort in being able to travel.
Yeah.
So now you're doing it like a little bit of a different, like more of a different format. Instead of it being one-on-one, you're doing it like on a larger scale to a larger group.
Yeah. Yeah,
And so think
exactly.
about how to just do that in a larger group.
Okay. But my question, I guess, would be, should I keep that in the Facebook group, or should I bring it off of Facebook and kind of also have it?
So it depends what you're offering. I mean, the more you can keep in the Facebook group, the more engagement you're going to get, the more followers you're going to get.
Okay.
You start leading people off of Facebook, then the engagement doesn't stay on the Facebook page.
I see.
So as much as I could keep on there, I would.
Okay.
Because
Alrighty,
you might pull out a video that like gets a lot of organic views, so other people will find you. If you pull them off the site to watch that review video, then nobody else on Facebook's going to see it.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that was my only question, just because some of my members aren't on Facebook, so I didn't know a good way to kind of incorporate the same benefits for them.
Get them on there. Get them over to Facebook. If the members are not on Facebook, like make it easy, right? Like, hey, check out our Facebook page for more content about this. Like, and then they're going to want to join. I mean, I'm sure, like, what's your target demographic? Like, what's the age group?
I would say it's between 35, late 30s to about 60.
Well, they're all on Facebook. Yeah, they're all on Facebook, right? Yeah. So that makes sense.
True. I mean, majority of them should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, awesome. That answered a lot of my questions. Great, thanks. My next question would be about a multi-level subscription. So a little bit down the road, I was considering offering maybe like a carry-on size and a full suitcase size, just to kind of, give it some travel branding there.
But I like it.
So it would be the same destination. You would just be getting less products that month and you're paying a lesser price point. Have you had any experience with that, or kind of?
For sure. So you're $99 a month right now, or $99 a quarter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think options are good, but not too many. So I think 2 is great, right? You've got like a $49.99 one and a $99.99 one, like for sure, because you're allowing them to make one decision. But you know what's great about a subscription box that's got curated items is you're making a lot of decisions for them, like what's coming in there, right? And people like that. Consumers, like consumer behavior tells you that when there's too many decisions, people have a hard time making a decision, so they won't make a purchase. Right. And on a lot of times the curation box, like it's less about providing a value, but more about like letting them discover something that they might have never purchased. Yeah. And now that they purchased it and they like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, awesome. And with that, have you ever had experience in your own box, the gentleman's box? Did you ever let people choose the items that they want in there, or?
So we never did. I think as more and more, it's becoming more and more common where there's a little bit of customization, but less to the extent of you letting them pick, but more to the extent of you building a profile on the consumer and learning more about them. Now, that being said, your box is a little different, right? You're like saying we're bringing this destination home, so you really should be picking the items. Now, if you were like a beauty box that had beauty products, you might ask questions like, what's your skin tone? Or are you more into lipsticks or eyeliners? And then you would like be able to curate that box better. Right. In your case, that's not, it's pure, like for a gentleman's box, I might ask, do you like bow ties or regular ties? And then like, I would want to give them that item. For you, I don't think that's the same, because you're going, like, why do you travel? To see things you've never seen before in a lot of cases, right? To experience things you've never seen before, to eat food that you don't eat in the States or in Canada, right? So I think that you need to be less worried about that and more about making sure that the items you pick are getting really good feedback, so that you know that you're picking things that people would really enjoy to have, right? So what will be critical for you is that you survey the customers every single quarter, and you ask them to rate every item that goes in the box. For example, I'm not telling you this would be right or wrong. Let's say that you put a candle in the box and people were like, they rated it low because they're like, I can get a candle anywhere. I don't really feel like this is from, Mexico, right? Then you might not consider putting a candle in a future box. That makes sense?
Right. Yeah. for sure. Yeah, it's not my plan to offer customization to that level, but I've got a few people that ask me the question.
There might be like this idea of like where they like to travel to. So for example, and I don't know, you might know better than me, but like I'm sure there's people that like going to countries that have more like water and like beach. And then there's some people that maybe like to be in countries where it's less about that, right? Like, you know, I don't know. I'm thinking like going to Paris versus going to Costa Rica, right? You know, different feels. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
There? And so there might be something in that element. Like you can ask a question through checkout. Like if you had to go to like one of these countries, what would you pick? Like, and then you might learn something about the consumer. And you can ask more questions like that, start to gather data. That could be like, that could be something, you know, like there's, yeah, because like I'm like a guy that I'll go to countries that have water and a beach, but I'm not like ecstatic about it. But I like to go places that might have really good food or a good nightlife, right? Like it's a little different environment.
Yeah, I do in the when I check out, I do ask them their personalization of like sizing and what their tone preference are. So say if I have a beach bag that's black and white, if you like lighter tones, I'll give you the white one. If you like darker one, I'll give you the black one, that sort of thing.
It's a good way to do things.
Yeah, so just to make it a little bit more personal. And then I did do a survey after my first box where I asked where the destinations that people would be likely to go. So I do have some data on popular destinations because I would just go anywhere. I would just travel anywhere. So I kind of wanted a way to get a mass of what the most popular, at least countries or continents are. So I do have some data behind that currently. But yeah, I do agree with surveying. I think surveying all the time, each quarter is a good idea just to get a feel of what items people tend to like. And yeah.
Yep. Good.
Okay, awesome. A next question for me would be about hiring. So who would you suggest hiring early on to help me with some of my workload because it's just me?
Yeah. So on the current workload, what are the things you love doing the most? Right now you're wearing all the hats. So what would be some of the things you like doing?
The things I like doing are curating the box myself. I do really enjoy putting it together and choosing all the products. And the customer service is something I actually enjoy. I mean, I'm used to being in a service industry, so having that touch point with people personally is something that I really like doing.
So what do you not like doing?
I really don't like website or graphic design stuff. It's really not my forte.
You could outsource that easily. You should outsource that. What else? Do you like putting the box and doing the fulfillment end of it? Like,
yeah, I like doing that.
Okay.
I mean, I thought in the future maybe I could outsource it, but I would have a hard time not having any interaction with that process. I would have a hard time like letting someone completely do it and me not being around.
Sure.
I think that would be hard for me to let go.
So look, I think it's important that you're the curator of the box. I think there's an element of customer service you should touch on. What about the marketing?
I do like doing the marketing. I don't like doing all points of the marketing. I do like putting out the Instagram and Facebook content myself. When it comes to the groups part of it, the Facebook groups that I have, it's not my most favorite. Sometimes I'll just schedule the post, but if I could have someone in there helping me with engagement and content, I probably would like to hire someone to do that. I just wouldn't even know where to start looking for that though.
Well, so you're essentially, because you're a single founder at this point, right? And you're doing everything.
Yeah.
So you need like another utility player, a person that can handle some customer service, they can handle some Facebook engagement, they can help fulfill some boxes, right? They can help you make decisions on items that might go in.
Yeah.
That's what you really need is like this like utility player. And it could be like a new marketing associate that is like going to help you with some marketing, consumer, but they're going to do a bunch of things, right? Because it's good for them to learn on the ground level anyways. I think that my follow-up question to what do you like doing, you also need to be self-aware as to what you're really good at, right? So like a really good entrepreneur is aware of the things they're not that good at and knows they need to detach them and get somebody else to do it, right?
Right.
And there's also like, they also know what they don't like doing, even though they're good at it, they don't do it. For example, you know, at our companies, like I can do the accounting, but I hate it. So I don't do it. Like someone else do it.
Right.
But I can do it.
Yeah.
Right. Like but I don't like doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and so if I was, you know, and like, you're right, the fulfillment in the beginning is something you want to touch, but like it's like, that's an hourly job for somebody. Like, right, you need to be doing high level stuff. So I haven't touched fulfillment in 4 years. I don't have Gentleman's Box anymore. It was acquired, but even when we had it for the last 3 years, I don't even know how often I stepped in that warehouse. That was handled, right? And it allowed me to focus on the bigger picture, more of the marketing, building a community, building value. So things like that, customer service, fulfillment, social engagement. Actually, I'll take social engagement out. Customer service and fulfillment, no matter what, is like something that somebody else should be doing.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you can't watch it. You can't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But these are hourly jobs, right? You need someone else to do those things. You know, you need to focus on curating a really good box, engaging with the customers so that you can identify the items that should go on future boxes, and really think about the marketing side of it. Like you want to grow the business, right? So you need to double down on the marketing. You need to double down on retention, and retention is just as important, right? So that's how I would be thinking about it. So this next hire would be like a out of college marketing associate that's really literally ready to do anything.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and I feel like it would be good to hire someone in marketing to just kind of lay out all my options for me and say, here's what we do for a giveaway. Because I can do all this stuff myself, and I'm good at it. I went to school for marketing, but I'm only one person, so trying to dip my hands in everything right now is a lot of work. So yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, then that leads me to my next question in terms of content. What do you suggest on an organic level? I'm doing Facebook ads and they're doing fairly well. I'm just wondering aside from the paid advertising, I don't want to also get too overwhelmed and just have so many different social channels. I currently have Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, but I don't want to go in and get Pinterest and Twitter when I'm not used to these platforms. Or should I get those and then have someone else manage them?
I'd be less worried about Twitter. I think Pinterest could be really good because you're showing off items and from different countries. I think you get really creative there. I think it's really good that you're doing TikTok. You should be making a lot of TikTok videos, a lot of free organic traffic. The other part of organic is like creating out content and writing up blogs. How to travel safe in 2021. You know, these top 5 countries to go to in 2021. How to pack your suitcase for 2000. Like you can come up with like a million things, and that can start to rank and drive you some top of the funnel traffic. That's what I would do for sure. I'd focus on writing some blog content. I'd also like think about creating some video content with you talking, like you be the face, like those same things you want to write down, put in like words and talk about it. Like, you know, you start to build a cadence, you know, Travel Thursdays, and like every Thursday you go on and live Facebook or start a YouTube channel and you start talking about traveling, and it's like something you do every Thursday at 2:00. You start to build an audience. If you're creating value and you're giving them value, eventually, like you never want to talk about selling them the subscription box. You just want to create value. Build a following, then naturally they'll start subscribing.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome. Well, we're going through these pretty quickly, actually. So, my next one and potentially my last one would be about conversions on websites. So I don't know if you had a chance to look at my website and maybe look at the flow. And
I looked at it briefly. I looked at it on desktop and iPhone. One thing for sure is you've got either your images are too big, the site loads slow.
Okay.
So it needs to load faster. So you can buy a plugin that's like something called like Rocket, something that like helps it move faster. But also, I bet you a lot of your images are probably too big, and so they're taking up longer to load. And you can make them smaller because they're on a digital screen.
Gotcha.
That was the first thing I saw. The other thing too is like the second thing you have before the second area after the hero image is the as seen in.
Okay.
I think it is, and your as seen in is just like. It's not there yet, right? Like you're not like they're not like oh CNBC or Forbes or like Travel Magazine, right? They're just they're a year of boxes. Nobody's heard of it, right? Like, well, the Marilyn Denise show, that's probably a good one, right? And then I don't know what blog TO is, but I don't know that that's ready for that yet. I might move that down if it was me. You got the how it works, which is pretty standard. You got the what's inside. You got this claim offer, which is like your call to action, which is like you're basically saying like sign up and you're getting this free tote.
Yeah.
But like nobody could sign up without getting the free tote. Right? There's no just like the free tote is like, it's not like you're basically right off the rip just saying this is the deal for this week. Is this something you're always going to curate? So like, I guess what I'm getting at is I'd be using that as like an exit intent strategy. When they go to leave, have that offer come up. And I saw something come up when I went to leave. It was about like a $50 gift card, or I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
What I would be doing is having the product for sale for $99. My call to action would be sign up. If they go to leave, it would say sign up today and get this free tote.
Oh, okay, I see. Gotcha. Yep. All righty.
Yeah, because you're like, what if organic people just come? Like, you're just giving away the tote.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, it's like going to the website and giving them the discount code right off the rip.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the things I would change.
I guess the reason I was doing that was so I can make it super obvious for anybody who is going from my Facebook ads, because the Facebook ads kind of mention the tote, and then I didn't want it to be confusing for them. So when they get on the page, they're like, oh, where is the tote? Do you know what I mean?
Well, with the Facebook ad, can't you have it automatically add the tote? Are you giving a coupon code to make them add the tote, or just this is how you're doing it?
It is a coupon code, but when they go to checkout, it automatically gets added.
I would do two things if you wanted. I'd create another landing page that had the tote on there.
Okay.
So that when you send the ads, send them right to that page, and then let it go through the checkout, and then have the main homepage not include that. Because I'll be honest with you, looking at your homepage, I'm reading "Come Travel the World," a subscription box created by professionals. Like I don't even know that there. It was confusing to me. Like, what do you mean claim offer?
Right.
Like I didn't even know that I was supposed to get a tote. Like if I didn't see the ad, I might be unaware as to what that means. Claim offer. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep.
And then like you got get started, which is another good call to action, and then you got claim offer again. I would just adjust that. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd also do you have a previous boxes section?
I do. I have the one past box that we sent out. So it is on the home page, and it's an unboxing video of the past box.
Yeah, I think you make those little changes good. But number one key, you have to right away, you got to change this. This site's too slow. Like I'm like, I can't even get to the bottom part to watch it. And people will leave fast. They got short attention spans.
Yeah.
So that would be the first thing.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have not a set amount, but maybe like a range of what a good conversion for a website and e-commerce would be?
Conversion rate?
Yeah.
Yeah. So typical e-commerce is like that 2 to 2.5 to 3%, but subscriptions less. It's probably like 1.75 to 2.5.
Oh. Why is it a bit less?
Because you're asking them to commit to a renewing subscription. It's not a one-off.
Right.
So you've got to make a commitment. So it's different. So if you're in that 2 to 2.5 range, you'll be doing really well. Yeah,
we're about like 2.5 right now. So good. I just didn't know what a good one would be for the standard.
And your Facebook ad, your customer acquisition cost is coming in well?
Yep. I don't know. I've taken Liam Brennan's course, so I kind of have some experience on what other people might be getting, but he also said that it can vary. So
yeah, for sure. What are you getting? How much are you acquiring them for right now?
It really depends, but on average around like 15, 16 Canadian.
That's great.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. What do you mean? And they're paying $40 in the first, they're paying $100 in the first purchase?
Yeah.
Yeah. What how much are you spending a day?
So right now I'm spending around 80, and then that'll get me between 4 to 8 per day. 8 is like the high, and then 4 is kind of like the low.
What if you spent 500?
Well, see, that's my question. I don't know if it does it just automatically show it to more people and it makes more sales, or is it a gamble?
But it doesn't mean you're going to get them at $20 or 15, but you might get them at 30. You might get them at 40. You might get them at 50.
Okay.
If this was my company and I was acquiring customers for $15, I'd be spending $10,000 a day if I could, right? Like you want to scale. So it's not, just so you know, that's not typical. Now there could be a couple of reasons for that. I think it's probably because you're hitting the Facebook consumers that are in Canada. They don't have as much, like not as many people are doing ads towards the Canadian consumer. There's not as many subscription boxes. You don't have nearly the competition. So take advantage of that.
Right.
Like I'll give you an example. Gentleman's Box was $29 a month. We paid $80 to get the customer. Wow. Our premium was $99 a quarter. We were spending $150 to get them. It's not typical to be under 1-to-1.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, like you need to pour for, like think about it. Like I don't know how many subscribers you have, but like if you're getting 4 to 8 a day, do you want 20 a day?
Yeah.
So why not spend 200?
But is it as simple as just going in and changing the budget and then Facebook will do it?
You got to be a little bit strategic about it. Increase like 10% a day. See if it helps. And then slow down when it doesn't work.
Okay.
But you realistically are spending $15 or 20, we'll say for the sake of ease and being a little conservative, to get someone to spend 100 and then they're going to renew. It's like a no-brainer. It's literally a no-brainer. It will not be the same in 3 years. Like it will not be the same in Canada for 3 years, 100%.
Just
like,
because
are you able to like handle that many subscribers? Like what if you got 1,000 new people in 1 month?
I would have to hire someone to help me with fulfillment for sure.
Yeah, that's easy. Would you be able to get the product
wise? Yeah, I could do it.
And you're shipping the June one right now. So when are you ordering inventory?
I've just ordered the last of the inventory last week. So it usually takes about 2 weeks to get to me because I tend to order locally as much as I can.
Decent margins?
Sorry?
Do you have decent margins on the $99?
So the first box I didn't. I had about 20 to 25 depending on the gift I was giving. And then now I'm at around 27 to 30. So my goal by the end of the year is to kind of be around the 40 mark.
But let me ask you this, like give me one item that might be in the box. Give me an example of an item. Like a bracelet.
So for the Canada, without giving away the rest of the box, half of it's a surprise. But for the Canada box, for example, we have the Great Canadian Bucket List book. So it's a book of all the experiences and destinations of Canada.
And how much that book cost you? You know
that I got at 50% wholesale.
Okay. What if you would have bought 1,000 books? Would they have given it to you cheaper?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. So that's what's supposed to happen. That's how you get to your margin, right? Like you should be, but what I'm concerned about a little bit is if somebody signs up today, when do I get the box?
So if you sign up for now, you would get it in June. You'd get the June box.
Because the March box is sold out?
I've sold out of it, but up until about a week ago, I was selling it as an add-on. So you'd sign up for the subscription that's coming up, but at checkout, you can choose to add a past box if you want a box right away. So
you're just, one thing you're doing is you're just costing yourself a whole renewal. Think about this. So what if somebody, how many did you sell out in March, the March box? The very first box, how many did you sell out? A couple hundred, 150? How many did you sell? Or roughly?
The March box, we ended up selling 100 total.
Okay, good.
I had 60 the first time, and then between March and now we sold an extra 40 or 50. I can't remember.
So you realistically though, based on your marketing, you could sell another 5 a day. We'll say on average, right? 4 to 8. We'll just be conservative. You could sell another 5 a day, right?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you want to order more May boxes or March boxes and sell those? Because then they'll renew again for the next one. Right now, all these people signing up are not going to renew for the June box, right? Because they're buying the June box. So they're not going to renew again until September.
Yeah.
So imagine if that's 500 people. For the sake of easy numbers, we won't even go that crazy. We'll say 100 people.
Okay.
That's 100 people times $99. That's $10,000 that you're throwing away. You're not even earning because they're not renewing in June. Like absolutely, like that's like you should not do that. Like you want to
Okay.
You want to have enough inventory to fulfill as many of the orders you can. If you sell out with like 2 weeks prior to the next one launching, that's fine. That's good. But you might have sold out with the whole month of May left over and maybe a couple weeks of April. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So now, instead of
okay, so sorry, just to clarify, you're saying I should have ordered more of the March and kept selling them like I was doing? Like do what I was doing before, but just order more?
Have them sign up and get that as their first box. And then when they renew, they'll renew in June again.
Well, what I was having them do is when they're signing up, like for the current box that's about to come in June, they would sign up for both at the same time. Like,
did everybody do that?
Some chose not to, but about at least 60% of the people that were at the checkout chose the welcome box. Yeah.
So the 40% didn't. So that revenue is just lost. It's like a lost opportunity. Because don't you think that they would have signed up and taken the March box and then they would have renewed in June and got the June box?
So how do I make it that their billing would automatically happen though? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do I make it that their billing would automatically set before June? Because if they're going to be billed 3 months after they sign up, then they're going to miss the June sign up. Like, how would I logistically?
You just build your business model on anniversary billing. So if your quarters are March, April, May, and then June, July, August, is that the right quarter? Is that the quarters? Are those the quarters?
So the quarters they get billed 3 months from the day that they sign up. So they have until May 25th, for example, to sign up for the June box, and then August 25th for September, etc.
Right. So imagine if they sign. So here's a perfect example. They sign up May 5th tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're going to renew August 5th. But they won't for you. They're going to renew November 5th, right? Let's say that because there's no March box. Okay. If they sign up May 5th, when are they renewing right now under your current system? When do they renew?
So if they sign up May 5th, they would renew August 5th for their September box.
And then in September, then they would renew November 5th for their
December box.
Box.
Yeah.
Okay, versus they signed up May 5th, they got the March box. They renew August 5th, they get the June box.
They sign up May 5th and they would get the June box. And then if they want to add the March box, they can add it.
No. We're referencing the people that don't add it. That's the dollars you're missing out on.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, the ones that don't take the March one, you're missing out on that revenue. So what I'm saying is the best case scenario is they sign up May 5th, they get the March box. They renew August 5th, they get the June box. They renew November 5th, they get the September box. That makes sense?
Yep. I just think would it be hard to predict how much inventory I need if we're.
Of course, that's part of the game, but you're just losing out. Like, that's why I said it's okay to sell out. You just don't want to sell out with a month left.
Right.
You don't want to sell out with a month and 40 days left. It's okay to sell out with 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you're in your first month, so it's okay. We can solve for this, right? You're just going to get more inventory the next time. Like, you're going to make it so that you don't have to like do it in that fashion. But you got to remember what you're also doing is you're making somebody renew on August 5th and they're not seeing the box for a month.
Right.
It's a bad experience. Like, you want them to get it right away. They're excited. They just got billed. Like, I want the product to come.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's how
so then as of June, like let's say someone signs up June 5th, I should send them the June box right away. Forget about that being the renewal for the September.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
is that what the similar model that you guys had with the gentleman's?
It's every model of anybody that's running a quarterly subscription box.
Okay.
Nobody's prepaying like that. If they are, it's just not a good model. Like, nobody wants to wait. Like, you look at FabFitFun, all of them, you're buying that month's box, that quarter's box, we'll call it. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Trust me, it's a huge revenue change for your business. It'll have a huge impact. Like, it's small now, but imagine if you had 10,000 people renewing. It's a huge impact.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to think about for sure. That really stressed me out in the beginning was filling out the billing and the logistics behind it, because with quarterly it's a little bit tricky, right? You're not getting everyone on the same billing cycle because why would you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, good. Awesome. Well, I hope this is helpful. I hope I helped
Yeah,
answer
it
some
definitely
questions. I hope
was.
I didn't complicate anything for you on the renewals, but that's the way you'd want to do it. And feel free to shoot me an email afterwards if you have more questions. And I wish you a ton of luck with the business in the future, and hopefully you can travel to the States and come to SubSummit this year. I don't know if you'll be able to. I know Canada's a little bit more restricted, but
Yeah.
hopefully that'll work
Well,
out.
when I can travel, I'll come. I'll come for sure.
For sure. Good. And for everybody watching, thanks a ton. If you want to be on the No Excuses show, you can go to SUBTA.com/Chris G and apply to be on the show. Ansley, good luck with everything, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.